meet you though. You're in New Jersey, right?
I live in New Jersey for the
Um,
past 50 years, yeah.
have you guys been getting a ton of rain this past week?
A flood of rain. We live on a hill, and our street were rivers,
Wow,
waterfall. Yeah,
wow.
but the grass needs it. The trees needs it.
Fair enough, fair enough. Silver lining.
Yeah,
So I'm Reese Finnegan. I am a gallery assistant at Alpha. I'm the one who you've been emailing with this past week or so.
that's the one we're talking, okay?
Yes, it's lovely to finally meet you. And let's go ahead and start talking about your art, if that's okay.
It's okay. The story is that I start learning art techniques when I was in Rome, Italy, at the art school of the College of Fine Arts in Rome, Italy. And I major in clay sculpture. Clay sculpture, clay was my love, my passion, and I really love it. But when I came in the United States, then I started a family, and then I was missing the creativity. And then I felt that I badly needed to to start again. But with the family, I found that the paintings was a little easier. They having clay, kiln, pottery wheel in my garage, and all this stuff. But clay was really my passion and love. So I was starting on myself after being owner of a gallery. I own a gallery in Parsippany, New Jersey for 27 years. I was a gallery owner and I was representing 70, 80 artists as a gallery owner. Then after 27 years of being gallery owner, I decided it's time for me that I do something that belongs to me more personal and I express myself instead of selling art. Yes, so I started going to different workshops at different teachers from all over United States. How do I select the teachers? I selected the teachers. And that is very important for everybody. To select a teacher that has a lot to give, that communicates very well and very clearly. And the teacher has to detect the personality of the student. Not everybody, as you know very well, you understand that not everybody appreciate it or understand the abstract art. Could be strange. And some eyes, some people say, well, what the heck is this? This is what you're doing. They look scary. They're scared because naturally it's hard to catch the feeling of the abstract. So at this point, I was keep on going with these beautiful teachers, and I have 22 different teachers from Florida, traveling to Washington State, California, 3 or 4 teachers who came from New York, Michigan, and a lot of teaching. Now, in my trip to China 25 years ago, I decided to pass some of my learning to a group of students from China. An artist opened a studio for me, and I had a group of Chinese people. It was a printing press. We decided to do, not having my supply, no acrylic colors, watercolor that I like it. I had nothing in China. I decided, to do printmaking because in the studio was a printing machine. So we went with monoprints. Was a lot of fun because when I was painting on a metal plate, before putting the metal plate in a printing machine, I was naturally making a composition completely abstract. It was almost a shock for the students because because it's a technique that they don't connect much. They were looking, they learned, they were very excited. But the philosophy and the personality of the Chinese brushstroke is not certainly me. I try, one of the techniques that I try, but it's not me. I'm completely immediate stroke, immediate composition. And then after 10 minutes I'm painting, I stop, go away from my paintings, completely go away. Come back and see what's on a paper or on a canvas and decide, yes, there is a potential. Now can I attack my composition? It all is born with the idea, the philosophy that I would suggest to any student in a class of the art field, because I teach in New Jersey, I teach to a couple of classes. I would suggest to study a word that is called wabi-sabi. Wabi-sabi is the acceptance of imperfections. Means something imperfect that is not perfect can be even more beautiful than perfection. Let's say you are a potter and you do a vase. And when you do your vase on a pottery wheel, if you leave your fingerprints, if you make a scratch, if you make a mark on your object, there is your personality coming to your art piece, into to your art piece. Never, ever, ever make lines with the rulers or with some artificial tools. Just go by freehand and be you in your artwork. And that is very important when I teach, that I support the idea of self-expression. And that to me is the most important thing. Doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Nobody wants to be a Picasso at the beginning. You don't want to be, not even a traditional artist, that do photorealism. No, you don't want to do that. You want to do something that your expression comes into the paintings. Now, some people are more color, some people are more black and white, some people are monotones. The variety is infinite. The possibility are millions and millions and millions.
That is there's so much interesting things that you just said. So okay, so let's go back to you mentioned you spent some time in China. I know you've also exhibited in Japan, Nepal, South Africa, some other places around the world. What were those experiences like for you? Can you talk a little bit more about that?
What is it? Repeat the question, please. What was the
What were your experiences traveling around the world to exhibit? What was that like for you?
traveling around the world with this teaching different nationality? I can see that the students more or less, they react the same way my American students react. They are, if they are in the art field for a while, they develop a certain sensibility, whatever you want to say, a certain being alert of open their mind. So they react like they want to know more and more and more. And that's something that makes me believe that there is a lot of potential, even in people that know nothing about art. Some people underestimate themselves, and I don't take it for granted. I say, no, you just try a little bit harder because some sort of vein of artistic stream in your brain must be there. It could be an art expression could be a good meal in a kitchen, could be a good knitting sweater for your boyfriend, could be your plant in your garden can be done in an artistic way. So it shows some people underestimate it. That's I found a lot of people don't believe and don't approach the abstract and they prefer to do the realistic. You know, the little flower, the little house on a prairie, the little building, oh, the trees, the easy things to do in realistic. And they do portrait. But I believe the abstract is altogether another concept. So in each person must be a drop extra for the abstract painter to have a more of an open-minded and more the spirit of adventure. And that's all it is. The word is adventure. When you are not afraid for adventure, you throw yourself in the technique. And somehow, most are better. Some other students are less prone and they give up. But I would say, why not try? Why not?
So with the abstract art, you mentioned that when you first came to America and started working in abstract forms, people didn't like it very much. How did you respond to that and sort of keep following your own style?
Keep on following my own style was a sort of in my mind. I I always feel a little bit, uh, I want what I want. I like what I like it. I'm not too prone to compromise because the few times that I have doubts, I say, what I'm doing, I'm not selling much. And naturally, because people want to see something realistic, the pleasant bouquet of flowers, let's say. You know, at that point, I felt like, no, I was sticking with my idea. I like the design, put the colors together in a certain way, but it's only my way. And by the time I was working abstract, acceptance from people criticizing really didn't disturb me at all. I respect the mind that is very, very traditional or semi-traditional. I respected the opinion, but I never changed it. I went experimenting only abstract with the society I belong to is called Experimental Artists in Michigan, Society of Experimental Artists. And I have a signature status with the society. So I go to Michigan for meetings and this and that. But it's a good art organization. They're really very good that encourage you to go your own imagination. The image comes from your mind into the paper slowly. Doesn't mean every paintings is a beautiful, successful. No, no, doesn't mean that. Matter of fact, in my studio, I tell you honestly, a pile of 20, 30 piece of paper that I discard or whatever, that I don't like. But I come back maybe an hour later, a week later, and I look again, but I'm not ready to touch this paper. It is expensive, arches paper. But anyway, it's just didn't come out. Let's put this way. And not all the times the composition comes the way the artist wants. It's very personal, subjective story. I judge myself. When I look at my piece at the end of the day, at the week, or the months, according how big is the piece, I look and look, and I have to judge myself. And then at that point, I put my signature on the piece. Otherwise, out of my sight. Yes. Yeah, I know. Out.
Um, so I'm noticing behind you here, it looks like a painting by Van Gogh. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. The face is one of the masterpieces. Yeah.
Would you say
But
Van
no,
Gogh is one of your inspirations or
no, no, not mine.
oh, okay, okay.
Not my paintings. It's not my my space, let's say. I am
I see.
someplace else.
I see. I see. So then what would you say does inspire you artistically?
Artistically, what inspired me today, I went to realize the most inspiration I get through nature. Let's say I walk in a park and I see this brook, I see the shades of the trees in the water. I see some stones, rocks. I see an old wall, the cracks on a floor from some pavement. I see uh, the spilling of some water or mud or juice. And then I always go with my camera photography to have a photograph of this kind of images. People doesn't know exactly what I'm doing when they see me photographing an old rock because it's not even a flower list. No, no, it has to be a special old wall. It has to be something that inspire me, the design, the division of the field, the shapes after shapes after shapes. And my eyes look specifically on something that is not really, it's in nature, but it's out there. Let's put this way, it's out there. I was in New York once, and I had walking in New York in Manhattan, and there was some sidewalk, some floor, all cracked with cement, some white paint, whatever. I couldn't help just pull out the camera and photograph this image. Right in front of me came inspirational on a floor. So I point my camera on a floor. And when I was photographing, I saw 5, 6, 10 people around me try to look on the floor what I was actually photographing. How can I explain a person walking on the street in Manhattan what I was photographing? It's hard to explain. But to me, the distracted sidewalk, to me was pure inspiration. I go in a rocky mountain, I go to the place where I can photograph nature, woods, dirt, pieces of driveway, old cracks of garbage, whatever is strange, but that's where my eyes go. I search.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Um, so now let's talk about the work you did for this exhibition with us. Um, you've mentioned your work is very abstract, it's very colorful. What was some of the inspiration for your most recent pieces specifically?
The most inspiration for the one that I have recently. Well, sometimes is the inspiration is, let's say, changing clothes from the summer to the winter, and I suddenly pile on top of the bed all the winter jacket, the sweaters that like the orange sweater, my favorite color, orange, red, the beautiful warm colors. And I pile, and at a certain point I stop and I say, oh, let me give a photograph to some angle or whatever. So the inspiration comes from wherever the light, like a match, you know what I mean? A minute in my mind. Grab the camera and go, stop the scene. But then when I go on a paper, it's different because I decide to elaborate it in a different way. So the idea could come from anything. And some days I have no ideas. So I sit down on my desk, on my easel, actually, I don't have an easel. I have an easel to look at the paintings. I work with water media only on a flat, large table because I don't want the water media or the dripping where I don't want it. It has to be flat. So it's a low table. I put my large paintings. Sometimes I work up to 46 to 60 inches. It has to be flat on a table. And I turn around this 60 inches, running around, try to figure it out, which is the bigger the piece, the harder it is to concentrate. Working small comes more spontaneous, more natural. The large pieces are more struggling mentally to coordinate all the right combination of colors, how much you want, the shapes, the right shapes can be, it cannot be the one I wanted. But eventually I challenge myself, you know. It's so beautiful to say, oh, no, this is crazy, but I want to do it. I know this is not right. And lately, actually, in the late pieces, I had little touch, tiny pieces of collage first in my canvas. And when I put the little pieces of collage, then I put the colors, and then comes out, comes out better because the little pieces under the color give a double shade, a double depth, a double three-dimensional feelings. And then I keep inventing because sometimes the collage goes on top. It depends the moment. It depends. It's very iffy. I don't even know myself. I keep on going. Try to do something that say, after a few strokes, I want to say, this is has potential, yeah. Or this is, it's not doing good, that good. But Like I say, it's very iffy, very iffy. But before I put the signature, I want to very make sure that I really, I am the judge. I want to say that's good or "Oh, this is bad."
Hopefully more good than bad, at least.
Hopefully more good than bad. Yeah, some days I have to be predisposition, has to be a happy day, you know. And most of the times it's a happy day because I have a personality. I'm an outgoing personality. So nature, love, friends giggling, give me your last funny joke, please tell me. I'm very outgoing as a person. So I when I decide to paint, something good is coming. I can see the coming, and that's beautiful feeling, rewarding.
So it sounds like you're very driven by emotions.
Yes, emotions, yes, because one of the most reason, the top reason the word emotion comes from the idea that is born in my mind. For some reason, I have an idea. And I'm busy someplace else, let's say in the kitchen, I'm someplace else doing. And the emotion is coming from the vibration of color. I'm a colorist, typical colorist. The color itself gives me a shot of warm feeling and intense, I mean, a lot of adrenaline, real pure adrenaline floating inside you. I feel excited by the time I go. And the more I go into the composition, the more I feel excitement, warm feeling. I don't want to be disturbed. Normally, I shut the phone of the house. I don't even the cellular actually want. And I put sometimes slow, no loud music in my studio, which is a very classical or traditional or whatever music, but it's very low volume. I have to just use more my brain in that moment. It's a big effort because I know realistic painters told me that they can do this in 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. A good abstract takes much more than that. Much more study, much more effort. Yeah, I can do a tree. I can do a little house, a little, but no, it's not me. It doesn't come natural. I don't have fun doing. This is for me what I'm doing, only for me. Hopefully, selling.
Well,
Hopefully, hopefully. Naturally, and I do sell. I'm happy what I'm selling. Yeah.
so you mentioned you've been using a lot of water-based mediums. What is
Yes.
it that draws you to those?
The water medium, it's easy to, I let's say, to maneuver. I don't smell turpentine or some solvent that I don't like it. I can very, to me, it's very easy, comes more natural to me to clean the brushes, working around, putting layers of other colors on top of other colors. And one color covers another one. And the water media, I feel like I started with water media, I never try oil. I never try other colors. They are different. Well, pastel is very beautiful. When I see pastel, really appreciate the people or the artists that work on pastel. I really, attracts me. But I already have my skills and technology with water media, gesso, charcoal, uh, eventually some collage. I feel very comfortable with my media. And at this point, after so many years, I really don't want to try oil or something else. I really don't.
Really, after trying so many different things through your career?
No, I try oil, but it's okay. I try oil and I was treating the oil like the acrylic. But the acrylic, I still feel more relaxed with it. I try, one of the teachers was oil painters. So I had to try to know exactly, finally, after trying, you cannot keep your life trying. So I say I have to go in one direction only. I feel the most I can do with that technique, which is water media, all type of water media. Yeah. Yeah, well, I tried watercolor, but I didn't feel quite comfortable with it. Plus, it takes forever to dry. I have the immediate rewards. Immediately, I have to finish the painting. Immediately, I have to say yes or no. I'm very impatient. Yeah, that is the personality. That is the personality. It has to be now. When we do something now, yesterday. Okay, boom. That's me. But I love what I'm doing. I get so excited, they're so emotional. Yes, I do. I get emotional. The process itself get me vibrating sometimes. And when the piece comes right, exactly the way I like it, then I'm really, to me, is the reward. Nobody maybe knows. I show to my husband to judge me. Sometimes he say a good comment, sometimes he say I don't understand. And I get it. I mean, I get it. Very few people are catching the abstract. It's altogether another frame of mind. And pretty much believe it's in our DNA. Nobody takes the idea away from it. It's in our DNA. Some people have a more of the abstract mind, always on the right side of the brain. And they
So,
have that DNA. Yeah.
so if somebody doesn't understand your work, would you try to explain it to them or no?
I explain my feelings. I explain the combination. I interlock the shapes and the colors. I do can do that. Uh, but the person that doesn't appreciate acrylic, uh, is it's still is a chore. But many people that have a lot of tradition in their house, they ask me to buy an abstract because gives a good feeling. I don't know why they decide to open the mind. You know what I mean? It, to me, I said, this is beautiful. Put some crazy in your house. Some craziness, something different, other than the tree and the little realistic. Put something different. Yes, and they appreciate it. The corporation appreciate it a lot. The corporation sometimes want more abstract than traditional. Oh, yeah.
All right, I have one final question for you, ma'am. Where do you see yourself and your art going in the future? What's next for you?
Well, I can tell you, I'm enjoying the teaching very much because I can see how the young people in the class, mostly young, but even can be a 90 years old young at art, And you will be surprised how many people that pass their 80, they are young at heart and they want to learn. So it doesn't matter the age. But when I see that the teacher is passing this information to the students in a way that make them excited, making them do something I judge good. At the end of the course, there is a judgment, a reunion, put your painting on a wall in a studio, let's have a critique. And when the critique is good, the artist is, very satisfied, very happy, because he's doing something from his mind. Abstract art is something that you do and you form mostly in your mind. The idea and the source of the inspiration could be outside your studio. But actually, the composition, the brushstrokes, the decision in the moment on your paper or on your canvas comes only from the mind. It has to be a trained mind, makes a difference. The person at the beginning of the abstract course, they can do something they don't know what they're doing, and they do in a random way. Abstract is a random way, but you have to have the basic of what they do, proportions, colors next to colors, is the whole course that teach you what is all about abstract. A colors are the most important composition and color. like a reality paintings, composition and colors, those two. And that's the story of abstract art. It's not for everybody. I understand, but I encourage. Try. You never know. Like everything in life, try before you say I hate. I like it. Oh, it's not for me. It's for me. To me, almost immediately, I knew. Almost immediately, I knew was for me. And the teacher encouraged me. You are absolutely an abstract person. I am an abstract person. It's good to know. I wonder. But whatever I'm doing makes me happy. It's very rewarding. Very rewarding.
Very good. That's fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
I appreciate your time. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank
I
you,
thought your stories
Chris.
were just fascinating. So I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yes, whatever. Just contact me. The gallery can contact me if you want a demo or a teaching class. I'm ready to go. Travel.
Yes, ma'am. Will
So
do.
nice to meet you, Tris, everywhere.
You as well. And please thank your niece for helping us get set
Oh,
up.
yes. Yeah, exactly. Surprise. Thank you so much. She was polite. Yes, very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a
Bye,
good day.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.